I'm now.
Okay.
Hi, Angelica. Welcome to Accomplish. Before we get started, just tell me a bit about yourself.
I am a tourism and events management major. I love to travel. My parents, fortunately, were able to take me to Europe like about 5 summers ago. And then I realized, like, wow, I really like learning about different cultures. I like being in different countries. So I realized that I wanted my job to be, I want to be able to travel in my job and experience new things around the world.
Definitely.
And I also have a double major in communication and dance. I remember taking COMM 100 my freshman year, and it was about public speaking, and I definitely enjoyed it. So when I figured out that I could take it as a minor, I definitely jumped for that opportunity. And then dance has always been a big passion of mine. I do Afro-Peruvian dance, and also like our cultural dances.
Sounds like you have a lot of room for creativity there with both.
Definitely.
Majors there.
Definitely.
You've enjoyed your time at George Mason so far?
Absolutely.
That's wonderful. What did you like most about your previous job that you held?
I worked at the Office of Alumni Affairs.
Okay.
And I liked the job because they allowed me to have a voice. You know, they would come to me and they're like, what do you think would be a good marketing strategy towards students? Since I was a student, I could relate. You know, they would come and they would ask me, they asked for my opinion. And I think that really allowed me to grow in my professional career.
Definitely. Yeah. What would be something about that job that you didn't necessarily like, or something that you may change looking back?
Something that I may change. Well, there's not too many things that I would change about it because I was a student worker and they were really flexible with my schedule. So when I said, you know, I have to attend a meeting, can I leave half an hour early? They always said yes, and they were really understanding. And so I really liked the job.
Good.
You know,
sometimes being at the bottom of the totem pole, if you will, you don't get a whole lot of a voice. I know you said that you had some, so maybe could you identify maybe one thing that looking at the company as a student, maybe not having a full voice, that you would like to change if you held that position of leadership?
I would definitely like to get the students, I think, more involved because their purpose is, you know, to get alumni more involved, but I feel like when you graduate, you know, like you think, oh man, I really liked Mason, I want to get more involved. So I feel like maybe if they targeted a little bit more like the seniors, and then the seniors would be like, wow, you know, like all these cool events, and I'm not even alumni yet, I feel like they would have more of like some sort of like enthusiasm to want to get more involved with Mason after they graduate.
Yeah, I think that's a great strategy. So why do you want to work for Accomplish?
Well, like I said, I know you guys are a traveling agency, and I would like to be able to have, be able to work what I've learned in my education, in my college. I want to be able to put that to good use. You know, I have a lot of ideas that I would like to see as a as a tourism and events management major. I know definitely how to implement events, do great marketing strategies, and I think that I would fit well, you know, with my communication as my background and also dance. You know, maybe we could have like a dance, like cultural event for Accomplish. So,
what do you think is one of the biggest hesitancies of newly graduates wanting to come overseas and engage in an intercultural workforce?
I think that if they don't have a background of intercultural communication, I think they might see it as something scary because it's something new. And if they don't know how to interact with someone from a different country, they could offend them. So I think that maybe like one of Accomplish's, one thing that Accomplish can do is maybe have workshops, and you could do dealing with intercultural communication conflicts, and you could do some sort of like management workshop, and then so that they can know how to interact effectively with people from a different culture.
Right. Yeah, I think that's fantastic. Talk to me about a time where you had to take on a leadership role. That could be academically, or that could be within the jobs that you've held.
Right. Well, I was a part of the Hispanic Student Association,
Mm-hmm.
and I took the executive leadership role as the International Student Umbrella Representative. And so it was a lot of work.
Right.
I was basically in charge of all the events that go on during International Week at George Mason University on behalf of the Hispanic Student Association. So we did culture night, we did a soccer tournament, we did the dance competition, which was really the big event that everyone goes to, that everyone loves to see. You know, like you get up there and you're like, oh, that's my friend. And so it's a big deal. So you have to plan, definitely, beforehand. You got to get yourself organized. And I think the most important thing is just really taking it step by step so that when the actual competition comes, you know, you're not rushed.
Right.
And also, you have to plan for errors, because there are going to be situations where maybe a choreographer is being difficult,
mm-hmm.
and the choreographer doesn't want to respect someone, or maybe the choreographer just decides he's unmotivated and he doesn't want to keep going. So you really have to be there for that person or for the choreographer, and you have to be like, look, I know this is the problem, but we're going to sit down and come up with a solution.
Yeah.
You know, you really have to just be calm, be the strong person, you know, and give that choreographer or that dancer, the participant, that motivation to keep going.
Yeah. It sounds like you're a great leader, and you've definitely, you know, held positions, you know, where you have led teams, led groups, and you've been able to maintain that calmness with it. But has there ever been a time where you feel like you've taken on perhaps too much, and you've said yes to too many things and found yourself completely overwhelmed? And if so, how did you deal with that?
Absolutely. You know, I have a big problem saying no, and with, you know, I took 18 credits, and with HSA, we had an e-board meeting every Friday.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, at the end of the week, when I'm done with all my classes, when I'm done with work, the only thing I want to do is relax, you know?
Right.
But you have to, you know, keep going. And there was definitely a moment where I was like, you know, I think I'm taking on too much, but I think it's important not to give up. You know, it's important not to quit. And so I had to kind of just take it day by day. Instead of looking at the big picture, I had to take it day by day. So what I did was I make lists for myself, and I say, okay, this is everything that I'm going to do today. And so I would be like, you know, go to my meeting, and then if I had an exam a week later, I'd be like, I'm gonna study 2 chapters for this exam, and then the next day I study 2 more, and then that way it wouldn't be so bad, you know, for like the big assignments, for the exams, I could just take it, you know, little by little each day.
Definitely, yeah, planning ahead is huge.